So in typical stereotypical realtor fashion, my first slide is an old photo, an old. I need to get that updated, so I apologize. So let's talk over a couple things real quick. IT is going to help me out, and we're gonna get through this quickly. So, so the agenda is obviously introductions. We'll get to that in a second. Goals, a couple videos. So obviously when you put the TV in the class, it's always a good day. So that quick videos, not too long. Questions and then the final summary. Okay. All right, a little bit about me. I grew up out in West Omaha, Riverside Lakes, 220th and Dodge out there. I graduated from prep. I got an associate's from UNO. I started doing the realtor deal in 2019. And I started with another company and came over here once I met Tom, as most of us did. So follow high on with us.
We used to work together too.
Yep. At least that one. Two boys, 16 and 18. One is a junior prep, and the other one just started his first year at UNL. He's muddling through it in the dorms as we all did at the time. So he's doing great. So very proud of both of them. So I started this other gig in 2002. So this month is 23 years. I've been an officer with the plane, all same place. Got a couple of things along the way. During that time, I've also been on the SWAT team for 18 years. I am a sniper team leader, so I have a few guys that we work with. So we have the SWAT team, and in the SWAT team, we have individual disciplines, and I do a sniper team for that. Along the way with the law enforcement thing, I've been an FTO, basically a field training officer. I've been a school resource officer, which I currently do. I'm actually at the Monarchs High School. Currently, my second bid up there. I was there once before from 04 to 09, so this is my second year getting back up there. Really enjoy it. Kids. Did the Pepper Mace thing, so I got to spread new guys, so that was always fun. But that's all in the past now. So the only current thing is the SWAT and the school resource officer. When I got on SWAT, I also got asked to do personal protection stuff for a company here in town by the name of Clark International. For the last 18 years, I've been fortunate enough to help out with local clients, celebrities, whatever, that come through town here. I take care of a person regularly in town, so I do the police, I do the protection stuff, I do real estate, so I can't keep busy. I can't sit still. Like all of us here do this, like we're all doing something side on this, but usually can't sit still. It's one of those things. So I've been very fortunate to be associated with them and got to see some cool things along the way. But with that comes a lot of pre-planning, a lot of situational awareness, basically trying to think of everything that could go wrong so that if something does happen, you're always prepared for it, which is basically what we're talking about here today. So. Okay, so obviously, just like my job, our main goal is to get home at the end of the day. You don't think of something like this maybe happening to us. We go to a showing or we're out doing our job, but a lot of times it's just us when we're out and about. So I'm definitely not the biggest, fastest, strongest guy in the world. There's someone that could probably hurt me if I went out by myself. I wasn't prepared. Same thing with everyone here. There's no one here that's impervious to get hurt. So proper planning, just thinking ahead. Anything can happen. So just kind of think of that ahead of time. So I'm going to see if this link thing works on this.
Oh.
A lot of lines. I'm not doing that, I don't think.
Oh, Phil Haggerstrom. Is Phil able to
Hold on.
draw?
Whoa.
Hold on. Bill?
I don't know.
We'll delete that.
No.
That's crazy. Phil Taggart. Laura Osborne.
There you go.
Oh, there we go. Perfect.
Okay. Oh. All right, let's not sign.
Well engaged.
Right. Oh my God, the meeting.
I would have YouTubed it. The YouTube- 2, 3. What?
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hi, Phil. Oh, hi.
Can you, this is Phil Taggart. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I've been live. I'm going on my phone. For some reason, it won't pull up on my computer. But I'm observing on the phone, and I got your introduction and your background information. I think we might our paths have crossed with the Papillion Police Department. But yes, I am live and watching.
Sounds good. I appreciate you being here.
Thanks, Phil.
Thanks, Bill.
All right, so if you can just play the video of some form of fashion.
Skip it.
Good to know.
4 seconds.
Yeah. Anticipation's killing. So of course, I am very much, I don't want this to be doom and gloom and everything's bad, everyone's out to get you. I don't want that to be the big thing. But this is local. This is something that a lot of us knew, when it happened, a lot of us knew Mr. Sidoro. And prayers with the family, obviously. But this happens, this isn't just theory, this is things that people aren't always all there. So with the proper steps, just kind of planning ahead, like I said, and taking that extra second to think about things and have someone maybe check that a couple more times as opposed to worry about the commission might make the difference. I'm sure he did all those things, definitely not second guessing anything that happens. Some people just take that opportunity, no matter how much preparation you've done, and God forbid it when it happens, but anything we can do ahead of time, make sure it doesn't happen, that's what I'm here to help you to do, so. Lee Goldstein at the real estate agent says these aren't opportunistic crimes, although many people are assuming that they are. Most of the crimes committed against real estate professionals are predatory in nature. Basically, they take time. This isn't just an automatic random thing that'll show up to an open house. They've studied you. They've looked at your headshots. They've looked at your pages. They've given you a great story to either be around you, be near you, or your routes, your routines. Predator tends to have a motive, wanting power or control over the victim, not burglary or theft. It's not just the money type of thing. In these crimes, predators search for some perceived weakness or vulnerability in the victims and have the intent of committing crimes like assault, rape, or murder. These criminals are drawn to real estate professionals because they know they tend to work alone and they believe that they have a better chance of isolating you. Which again, we've all been on a solo showing. It happens all the time. It's nothing new. It's very much a crime of opportunity, and what better opportunity inside of a house when it's just you two. Just some things to think about, be prepared for. Just typical study about when realtors felt the most uncomfortable about a situation like that, obviously during a showing. But before you get to that showing, when you have that person one-on-one in the house, there's obviously a lot of steps that have taken place before that you have the opportunity to kind of put those checks and balances in place to make sure that this is the right person that should be there. This isn't someone they maybe have nefarious plans. You've proven that they should be there either financially or through background checks or through the app that we have, Forewarn, just checking them, criminal records, that type of thing. You can do all these things and some can still be bad. However, to not do them is negligent. And that puts yourself in danger. And again, at the end of the day, the only thing you're supposed to be doing is going home and being with your families or doing whatever you choose to do at the end of the day on your own terms, not on somebody else's. So. That's. This one's about a 10-minute video. So you're gonna click on that and play that. Just gonna go over some myths and some things we did, make sure we.
Your job is raising few missions in Oklahoma.
Hey, Carol. Can you come in here?
Put me in front of you and firing line. I can handle it.
Paperwork only.
Right.
Paperwork only. A lot of good points there. Let's go through this, a lot of advice deals. So obviously me at the office, it's nice, warm and fuzzy. But again, you start here, but then you also still have to go somewhere else. So what are you gonna do when you get to the next place? Are you prepared? What have you thought of? What have you done? To help prevent an attack, you've acted.
Can I real quick? So the meet at the office though, I do think though, that it would somewhat be a deterrent. To, like, if one realtor asks you to meet at the office
Mhm.
and another one doesn't, like, would they
Absolutely.
really, you know what I mean?
Well,
I
absolutely.
still
Between the
feel
two,
like,
absolutely. No,
Yeah.
meeting in the office in and of itself isn't a bad thing. It
Yeah.
definitely is a start, but
right,
it's all the other things combined and down the
Right.
line that you've done prior to that meeting at the office. That's what we're talking about.
right, okay,
The preparation up to the meeting in the office. Don't just think, I got a cold call on a sign. Hey, meet me at the office. Let's go talk real quick. I'll get your ID. I'll talk to you real quick. And then we'll go to the house right away. We're talking the preparation beforehand.
right,
So I just don't want people to think that, that's all I have to do. It's gonna
Right.
scare away every bad guy. If I meet her in an office, there's people walking around while we're talking.
right,
It's just, don't rely solely on that. That's the. what-
got it.
Right,
So-
so and I have an agent that they meet at the office and then they schedule an appointment, they don't go straight from here to there, so they have time to do their due diligence in between.
Oh, in between.
You know, just, she's talking to him about, hey, we have this, you know, or I have this kid, or I have this, you know. And then she's pulling up on Facebook, well, does he say he worked, where he says he works, does he actually work there, that kind of thing, trying to see if things match.
Right,
And a lot of times if any kind of bad feelings, first of all, she doesn't go any further, she follows her gut. But secondly, she's always checking things before she schedules or actually goes to a property.
Right.
Never at the same time.
100%. 100%. I don't want people to think that, like I said, with the cold callers, I'm gonna meet them at the office, I'm gonna get all their information, we're gonna shake and be friends, then we're gonna go to the house. 100% initial meeting at the office or cop shop, whatever, whatever you feel comfortable with. And then, like you said, due diligence after that. Who is this? Where are they? Can they afford to get out? Or should we even be talking? There's no deal in the world that is so important and so time sensitive that you have to go straight from here to the first house. Initially, I'll meet somebody. There's just no way. Like I said, the office is just an example. You can meet anywhere you feel comfortable with. But just don't rely on that warm blanket of an office being everything's gonna be okay. Now that the person at the office, and then we can go do whatever after that, not knowing anything about this person.
Right, that guy with Mickey Sidoro met several women at their offices that he tried to get to go take in places beforehand.
We had that one party that was emailing a lot of agents around the federal positions, that was very aggressive. That was looking to meet straight at houses or whatnot, and we got the email about that person. So same type of thing, and that person also.
Now he's
It's a
running
bad
for
thing,
Congress or
they're
something.
fast. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the people, while he may be financially, not always the best thing.
Right.
So that's where the due diligence comes in, with everything. So the office is just an example of a meeting place. Not necessarily that the office is a bad place to, but I mean, so I mean by that. But again, asking the prospect open-ended questions, just, like I said, picking up on the red flags. Something doesn't make sense, their story doesn't line up, you know about a town, a part of town like Elkhorn, Waterloo, whatever. And they say they're from there and they have no idea, all in hops, typical restaurants, so things just don't make sense. So. Check IDs, like you said, instead of relying on an ID check, have a trusted lender, screen the clients first. Make sure they are who they are. We don't all have access to, obviously, public police records. And obviously I can't access those at all because I can only access those as a criminal investigation, but the forewarn is great for that. It's a great resource for prior history. It's not always the most up-to-date, most accurate, but it's good. One guide to get an idea who this person is. It's got a huge record of assaults and drugs and whatnot. Not that those people can't buy houses, but it would be an indicator of maybe I need to ask other questions that to qualify this person, to see if I'm the right fit for them to be working with them. And if they qualify for the houses that they're asking for going forward. And you need to know the purchasing ability of all your potential clients, right? So verify their financial situation before you do anything. Do it for your business, for your life. Like I said, there's nothing worth rushing straight out if you're out meeting somebody for the first time and trying to make a deal. Just be that friendly agent because you're afraid to lose a deal. It's not worth the risk. Again, tell me where you're going. Yeah, it's a great start for us. Something should happen. Same case for Mr. Sidoro, but they can start there and you can be gone from there, and then we have to figure out where you're at from there. So don't rely on just because I told somebody I'm going to be at this house showing it that everything's gonna go good. So instead of just telling someone where you are, ask a friend of your broker to review the information. Like I said, if you have a new client, and ask them if there's anything missing or look odd. Have a fresh set of eyes look at it, so you're not skewed by the potential sale as opposed to someone who has your genuine best interest at heart and they want to make sure that you get home safe. They care about you. Pass the money because they're not going to get you out of it. They'll get you back, which is more important as opposed to the money part of it. So that's what we're all here to do. Another set of eyes isn't being blinded by a potential commission is save your life. Advice, the red file, like I said, red file is just like the typical, like a code word, like, oh, I need this, that, and that. What a code word that you think is everyone is going to know when you call it, and but that might not be the case. I'm very familiar with Lisa Watson. I'm not very familiar with the current Secretary of State because I'm not here as often. So say if I had a code word that Lisa and I were familiar with and I called something was wrong, this person may not know it. So don't rely on a code word. And again, you're doing this most of the time probably in front of the bad person who's trying to do something bad to you. So you're going to seem nervous whether or not you think you are or not. And it's going to seem obvious when you're trying to drop these code words or whatever. So just instead of relying on that type of thing, again, just leave. Do your best just to leave, get out of the situation. Say you got to go get a phone out of your car or you got paper, whatever it is, just get out of the situation, the house, the building, whatever. Again, I ask for the red file, you're depending on the other person on the other end of the phone to know exactly what to do and then do it, which come on. It's not ever gonna happen, to be honest with you, just be straight up with it. Even then, you know how, do you know that, anyone will come to rescue time, take responsibility and take action and get out. So again, say everything goes perfect and they know the code word and they call a broker or a friend and they're down the street, whatever. Instead of waiting for someone to come rescue yourself. Take care of yourself. Make sure that you're the one that's in charge of your destiny as much as possible. So.
What do these things do? You know how they have like the emergency thing on the Apple Watches, like?
It'll give you your location, and that's if it doesn't get taken off your wrist, and
Yeah.
you're not in a building where there's a signal. But yeah, it will definitely, the greatest thing for those is the falls, obviously. So say God forbid you get hit in the back of the head, you fall, that'll automatically call 911. And we've had a lot of rescue calls that way, actually, to be honest with you. Like winter time, someone fall, crack their head in the ice, get knocked out, could be dead in the snow. We get a call because the Apple Watch goes up, right? They're fantastic. It's a great option.
You can do something too, can't you, where
You
you
just-
push it and it's like SOS?
Mhm. Then you got so.
Because I accidentally do it all the time.
Watch and everything, just as opposed to just big stand, maybe do that as you're running out, obviously, or leaving the building, absolutely. But again, don't rely on it. Don't hit it and think that the sound on your watch is gonna scare someone who's already committed to getting you in a house by themselves, done their research on you.
Least
just
location,
focused on-
though.
Yes, 100%,
Yeah.
100%. It'll get an active location. But again, say the watch falls off in the fight or whatever, and then they take you and it's gone. And because they know that sound's going, they know 911's getting called, so they're not gonna let that stay on you. Say they want to do something bad to you, they're gonna take it off you, throw it in the house or wherever. So
But a
really-
lot of it also isn't it also about planning ahead for that too, to be able to make sure that you could get out of the situation,
Absolutely.
that they're not following behind you and
Yes.
shutting you in a room.
Yep, that's all.
Because I mean, it might be hard to get away if
Yep.
you haven't planned ahead.
Positioning. So like us, you'll see a lot of officers sitting with their back to the door, the wall, there's no one behind them. It's all about positioning. I know where the exits are. I can see people coming and going. Same type of thing when you're showing somebody a house. You're not leading into a house. You're not leading down the hallway. You're not in the closet. Look at this great big walk-in closet with someone behind you. So maybe a great closet. I'm just saying, there may be some great shoes on the wall that fill the closet, but it's not one. Always keep some people in front of you. If they want to go and look at the room, fantastic. Here's the room, go ahead and look at it. Obviously, some people don't steal stuff from houses when you're letting through, which is always a possibility, but that's the least of our worries at this point. Always be aware for people and always have that exit strategy. So if someone is coming at you at the hallway, they're acting real weird, say, you know, I'm leaving, I'm walking down, I'm walking out. And don't be shy about it, you just leave. Again, if they're good people, you don't have to worry about them being offended because you're leaving. They can explain it to you later. Maybe it's a misunderstanding, maybe a difference of cultures or saying something they didn't understand, but I would rather take that option of someone being offended as opposed to someone being able to do something to me or one of you guys. So don't be afraid to just turn around and do your thing. But good point with the Apple one, it's great. Oh, good. Oh,
There we
it.
go.
okay, bring a friend. Like I said, I was somewhat personally attacked by the Candy Crush comment. I don't mind. But really, bring someone who can actually do something. You don't want to bring your kid there. You don't want to bring, 90-year-old Mabel, like she said. But bring someone who can bring something to the table. And don't get the false sense of security that because I've got a gun that I'm going to shoot my way out of it, or I can draw it and defend myself before something bad happens. It's usually a crime of opportunity. It's usually something that you're caught off guard. So it's yes, that may be getting to the point, but don't let it get to that point. Have somebody there that's walking with you, a friend, a husband, a wife. It doesn't matter who. Doesn't matter have to be a man or a woman, but someone who can do something when the time arises, and not just again sitting in the car playing Candy Crush. As much fun as that is sometimes. So just think about the tools. Once you get to that point, have something in place so that should the bad thing happen, which again, 99% of the time is not going to happen. 99.9% of the time it's not going to happen. But like this job and with the protection stuff, I have to plan for the 0.1%. And I want you guys to do the same without living in fear. It's not all doom and gloom, like I said. Just we all know this stuff. We get the hair on the back of our necks stand up. We look at somebody, we're like, something like that. You know this stuff. Listen to it. Don't. We are a very polite society. We're Midwest nice. Everyone talks about it. Don't let the Midwest teach you hurt, is what I'm saying. Don't be afraid to be not rude, but direct with somebody. If they're not getting your hints or you feel a certain way with it, you own it. And guess what? there will always be other commissions, there will always be other clients, there will always be another day that you can spend with your family as opposed to something bad happening. So focus on that more than anything else.
Are part of it. If somebody's physically in there with you, doesn't the statistics go down like greatly? Like how many times is there two people attacked at the same time versus one by themselves?
Right.
These days, my job, our rule is +1. I want to be as unverified as possible. If I'm gonna fight with somebody, I want two of us there, doesn't matter, tall, short, woman, man, does not matter. I want two of us. I want as many hands on that person as I possibly can. Now, again, I'm in a high school right now, currently. Do I think I could take a few students at a time? Absolutely, if need be. So say that two petite people, men, women, whatever, and you have one large, very large client, it doesn't matter if there's two of you there. There's a very, very good chance you're gonna get overwhelmed, and I don't want that to be the case. Again, you have weapons, you have self-defense, all that kind of thing, but at the end of the day, brute strength and size it's a very real factor. And they don't have to be trained, they don't have to be MMA fighters, they don't have to be anything, just being big and getting in the way and just holding somebody down and getting that advantage of it. Even if they're smaller, the David and Goliath thing, be small, absolutely, and win the fight. But are you in the position to win that fight by taking advantage of that size difference and that opportunity at the time? So, believe me, I'm not saying there's a certain height, size, weight limit that you're impervious to.
You're telling me that my partner in crime should put on 20 pounds. This 90 pound thing. This is my 90-pound Mildred.
I have a very strong feeling that if I turn my back to your partner, she could take me out if need be. Knock me in the back of the head with a.
Over the teenagers.
I'm fully aware that size is a negligible factor with the right situation and the right circumstances. However, again, I don't want to be going up against a defensive lineman in the NFL, even if there's two of us. Saying that doesn't matter. Size is a very real thing. But so just don't get to this point where you're in a situation where size becomes a factor. Make sure that your planning is ahead of the curve when it comes to that. So, no, there's no sizism going on here. There's no any of that going on. Planning and just being in the right place at the right time.
Oh.
So again, take your safety in your own hands, have a plan and practice it every time, and then go home to the ones that you love no matter what. So that's the summary of everything. Okay, here's my contact. If you have anything, don't hesitate to reach out. Any questions? Like I said, this is the more part that I like. Question for.
I'm curious, does anyone drive their clients to showings?
Okay, I've done it like twice.
Yeah, it doesn't happen that much. What kind of relationship do you have? Like, is it like after knowing them for a long time? I would have to think, like,
Isn't it?
Both of them have been ladies, but I've also gone through like the pre-approval process and have the letter in hand. And again, like doing your vetting up front and the forewarns and all of the things. But again, she was probably 79 and about 90 pounds, so I wasn't too overly concerned at the time, but yeah.
And call on your pre-approvals. I can't tell you how many people that, they've been out showing these guys houses forever and they say, I've been pre-approved with Brad Nabrowski. They know him and so, but they don't take the extra step to follow up to see if they're actually pre-approved.
Legitimate.
Yeah, right. I can't tell you how many times people have called me and said, hey, I'm working with such and such that you have them pre-approved. No, I don't. And I'm gonna say I probably get that phone call once a month, but they want to see the house. And usually it's in the most simple or, without ill intent. It's just because they want to see that house, and they either know of me or they've seen my Facebook or they worked with me in the past, but I could call at least one call a month where they're not pre-approved with me and someone's been out showing them houses, but that's how they started it because they know that they know my name, so they're like, they're pre-approved with Misty. If they know Misty, they're good, but they never bother getting a pre-approval letter and they never bother calling me and saying, hey, such and such wants to go show them houses. Can I see their pre-approval letter? And so usually it's after they've shown someone 2 or 3 houses and then they send them my way, they weren't pre-approved with Brad, but they wanna shop around or whatever, and so a lot of times they're not pre-approved. Cause they say they are and they know an agent or a mortgage lender doesn't mean that they.
So double check. do your.
You really should double check.
You know, you see these videos, I mean, don't judge a book by its cover, like they always say. Again, you could be special forces, just retired, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter size. I mean, anyone can do the job, do the job. Ted Bundy, average size guy, charming, good looking, not a monster of a man, killed all those people just by using his words, using his pre-planning, getting the right situation, getting that advantage over that person. You see these old vets on these videos, these guys are jumping in trenches, taking out hardened criminal, or not criminals, soldiers in World War II, World War One. I mean, these guys had the vets hat on, they look like grandmas, but these boys did bad things. I mean, they are dangerous men even at their age. So don't think that because someone's old or small or whatever, that they're not a threat. So just plan ahead. That's basically it. And the biggest thing is this thing up here is huge. Just trust that instinct. It does not matter. No sale is worth putting yourself in danger for anything. So do your vetting with a lender. Bring someone who can help you out if need be.
I think open houses are the most dangerous too. There was a
Checking once.
Yeah, there was a-
Great, that's
well,
one pick a lender as well.
there was a realtor that was killed in Des Moines.
Yep.
Doing that.
They just hide in the house till everyone's gone and
Yeah, or you're
Come
just
back.
there and like, you know, in a new development, there's very few people living there. You're just kind of setting out. They scope out the cars, that kind of stuff, just meeting people.
oh, we've all sat in an open house for
Yeah, I've had-
hours when no one comes by until one person stops by just to check it out, a neighbor or whatnot, that's no business being there, but yeah, absolutely. So I mean, everything can seem, oh, I've got everything done, I've got my signs up, I look good, I've advertised it to the world. But just what are the worst things that can happen and what have I done to prepare for it? Another kind of impressive.
That's what I was gonna ask is like, is there something that any of you do that makes you feel more comfortable at an open house or, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Quick question.
I always have some sort of protection.
Mhm.
I have rules like my car's always parked in the street, not in the driveway to be blocked in.
Smart.
I always have my car key with me. I don't get up and greet people in open houses like a lot of people do. I mean, when I was new, I'd be like, follow me, we'll go to the basement. You know, seriously, I'd go on down, I'll show you around.
I mean, one person in the room.
It's like, no, I just.
Do you keep like a back, like
I
another
stay
door open
Yep,
or
I stay
something?
seated, they're usually in the dining room. I only do them in like staged houses, so I can go out the patio door or something. I see them coming in, I meet them from the door. I don't go walking up to them. I stay seated pretty much the whole time and they can come to me and talk, but no, I'm one of those weird people anyway. Like my back is never to a door, like in a restaurant, anything. I always want options.
Right.
And I always just keep some sort of protection that I have with me, like in my bag. So yeah, I feel pretty confident with me. I did have one case when I was early on. I was showing an investment property in a section of town that wasn't so great. And the people, it was a phone call. I was dumb and naive. And they came walking across the street. And then he's like, oh, well, we live across the street. It's my son. We're going to do this. I'm like, okay, follow me. And I'm opening the door and there's people in the other house. And it looked really suspicious. And I did. I was just like, oh, I forgot something. I ran in my car and left. Then I felt like an idiot, but I was just like, I'm sorry. I mean, whatever. That was the one time that I've ever actually just bailed on something here.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Open houses, I do the same thing. I don't bring anything with me that's valuable. I have a notepad, a pen. I keep my phone and my keys on my person at all times. I know the layout of the house and I stay in an area where I've got options to get out.
Mhm.
Everything's unlocked.
Mhm.
But it also means going and even if it's raining, checking the backyard and making sure you've got an access point to get out
Mhm.
in case you have to take that way. I've had a situation where I was in an open house and the guy was just freaking me out. So every time he'd left, he'd come back, he'd go to a different room and he'd come back and I think he was just strange. But he was chatting me up in a way that was really unnerving. And I just kept inching towards the door. Every time he left, I get closer to the door until the point that another family came in and I looked at her and she looked at me and I was like, there's somebody else in here and I'm not comfortable. Please stay until he leaves. And they did. I mean, just, I had this connection with this woman, which was great, but I've also at other times called and said, you're coming over, right? You'll be here. How far away are you right now? Great. I'll see you in just a few minutes. The open house is here. You know, like I'll call my husband and he'll know exactly where I'm at, and or a friend. I've done that to a friend before too. Just,
Absolutely.
you know, another realtor, but it
Kitchens
is-
are great for that. I mean, kitchens, you can always just usually see the front door. You got a table set up, you can sit there with your laptop, whatever. There's a patio door right behind you usually. It's usually where I would usually sit, for open houses or whatnot. Those have pretty much the best view of most houses, just given the layout of typical houses these days, so. Yeah, for what that's worth. But again, at the end of it, you still have to lock it up, turn all the lights off, make sure that there's still no one in the house. Don't sleep in the upstairs bed or something like that, or.
And you can always set off your car alarm too.
Yeah.
Then my thought is like, right, a little emergency thing on the car if it needed.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Make your car alarm go. Well, and don't people say like if someone comes in at the very last minute, like a loan or something, an open house, I mean, obviously it'd be okay to say, sorry, this is
We're closing up.
over,
and
whatever.
we'll talk.
I don't know, I think every open house I've ever sat in,
That
the
happens.
last freaking 2 minutes, somebody shows up.
Mhm.
And, you know, and they wanna see the house. It's like nobody's there for the first 3.5 hours, but then
Yes.
the very last 5
Yes.
minutes, somebody walks in.
I would think like the hard part would be if someone asks a question that seems totally legit, you know, like I had a question about something in this bedroom or closet or whatever, like, how do you not go
Hey,
check?
Mary, do you mind taking a picture for me and bringing it back to me? I need to stay here to make sure I'm seeing who's coming in the house.
Same thing.
I do not go with them
That's
for
so
any reason.
smart to have a good response to that.
Yeah, like, will you take a picture for me? And that way I can look at it, and if I don't know, I can send it to the sellers.
Because I remember another one we went to, safety thing where it was like after Page or something sometime, and the person asked the realtor if the sink was dripping,
Mhm.
and then they went to look and they like, you know, kicked them, and so you need to be able to say like, I'll have to ask and we'll check with.
I'll
the
definitely check
plumber.
that. If you leave, if we need to get it fixed, we'll get it fixed for you if you're looking to buy the house. End of story. Just deliver.
I do too. I mean, that's what I think it's good to keep in mind, like, how would I react if someone asked me to go check something out or see this room? Yeah.
And it's perfect, like, just a simple answer. Well, if there's something wrong with anything wrong with the house, I'll talk to the seller. We'll get it checked out for you, definitely, but, I can definitely look into that as soon as you leave here, we can go from there. But if they're very insistent, no, I want you to get down there and look into the sink.
Yeah.
Bing, 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 bing.
Right, yeah.
They'll tip their hand hopefully. But yeah, just common sense, just thinking through it, and put yourself in the bad guy's shoes. If I wanted to do something bad to me, what would I say? What would I do? What would I try and get me to if I wanted to hurt me?
So if you're comfortable carrying a gun, you advise?
That's up to you. It depends on how much you train, how much you're familiar with it, but what they say when we go to a call, the dispatcher always asks drugs, weapons, any of that kind of stuff. If there are no guns when you show up, there is one now, because you brought it. I'm bringing it. There's a gun in the situation. If someone fights me, tries to take it from me, my life depends on me keeping this gun or making sure they can't do that. So there's always one gun in the fight when you bring it. There wasn't one before. So are you familiar with it? Are you able to draw it? Is it securely in a holster? Are you proficient enough with it that if you were fighting with somebody rolling the ground, that you could do something with it and not get it taken away from you and use it on yourself? Because that's a terrible thing to get shot with your own gun.
There's also really like.
And that was my first thought with Mickey Sidoro, is because he was always packing, and I
Yeah.
thought for sure that he was shot with his own gun, but it was in the truck.
And for like open houses, there's a really good like gel-based pepper spray or like bear spray that like sprays a long distance.
Presidio gel. So we,
What is it?
Presidio gel.
Okay, yeah, you don't have to be like up close, so.
But I also feel like if you are carrying your gun, you have your conceal and carry. I think we should almost promote like our brokerage to do some kind of like training class, you know, like, or at least like keep people, because a lot of people like don't necessarily know like the self-defense aspects of carrying your weapon and how to proper, like, you know, if it's promoted and it's like, hey, there's a training class at this time, and maybe if a group of people all went and did it. Because again, like if you feel comfortable with it and you feel confident in holstering and doing all of the things, like
Are we being recorded?
Right.
For real.
I mean,
Because
yes.
we had this discussion a few years ago, or I did with some people. And so I won't say if I have one or not, but I don't talk about that in the buildings because there are a lot of people who have hardcore stance against it.
And that's fine, like everybody's to their own
No, I know,
prerogative, but
they-
again, for
Maybe
those
upset
that.
You brought
Where
it
they
in.
wanted to change policy of buildings.
But
So
if you
I'm
wanted
also
to,
what you're
but if
talking
you wanted to participate in it and be knowledgeable in it, that is your,
100%.
you know, and again, you don't have to necessarily let everybody know if you have one or don't have one. You know, that's part of the concealed aspect of it for your own protection, but if a lot of people might not have thought about navigating down the personal or the.
I think it'd be
Don't
awesome.
you have to take a lot of, at least one class? I mean,
You
to
have to
have
have
concealing
one
carry?
class to have a concealing
That's
carry, but
it?
Nebraska doesn't require.
It is
concealing carry.
very minimal, and yeah, you don't
You don't even have to, you don't even have to have it in.
So with
Couple hours.
this, with this career, the biggest thing, a lot of things, obviously besides safety and all that kind of thing is CYA, cover your asset, so to
Right.
speak.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna speak way above my pay grade when it comes to this, as far as the company. Obviously, there's huge liability with that. They would definitely recommend if you know local businesses that are putting that on, go and take all the classes you possibly can. There's the
we go.
88s and all that kind of stuff. All the other businesses around town that do self-defense types of thing. Even Clark, the company that I work with, does that kind of stuff. But I can definitely see, and probably rightfully so, legality wise, pushback from a company hosting somebody, because say that they host a company and the company, the day they host them is great. Next week, they're arrested and defunct and bankrupt for fraud and all kinds of stuff. Then they were associated with the company, and then that's huge black eye. So the company wouldn't want that. So ideally, like, well, the company should host like self-defense classes, that kind of thing. I can see that being a negative risk for better homes, but absolutely, there are plenty of people, companies around town that do it. Stay proficient. I train 2 days at the beginning of the month for SWAT, and then I have another day at the end of the month for sniper. So I train 3 days a month, every single month, on specifically SWAT and sniper related stuff. You guys do not. I was still fighting an NFL linebacker, but probably have a little bit of trouble unless I have that advantage and I plan ahead. And that's with all my training after 23 years doing this. So training is great, proficiency is great, going to the range is great, but it is much better than not doing it. But it's also not a catch-all. So it's a combination of everything. The lenders, the pre-planning, walking behind somebody in a house, and the stuff, the totality of things. It's just another tool in the toolbox, having a weapon or anything, pepper spray, whatever. But don't let it be a warm blanket to look past all the red flags that maybe someone's putting off. But it's definitely a great tool, no doubt about it.
Can I ask one more question?
Absolutely.
Asking for a friend.
For a friend, that's
Can
what.
you tell me the difference between
Hypothetically.
buying a gun from Emily, buying a gun from Cabela's, or from a market? What are you supposed to do? Like, if I bought a gun from Emily, what am I supposed to do to make it be legal?
You have to have a gun purchase permit.
Where do you get that?
Departments have them. We sell them. They do a background check and they issue a purchase permit.
Oh, okay.
At the police department, they can do all that.
Yep.
Sergeant, county sheriffs, any police officer,
Okay.
police department can do that. And then once you have that permit, then you can buy it. But she can't be straw purchasing basically for just everyone down the street. She can't have a trunk full of guns and just be selling out to people.
But okay, no, and I appreciate that, but let's say I bought that gun and it's in my car, and it's sitting on the seat, I'm not concealing it. Do I have to register that with Papillion?
Every city is different, but insofar as registering it, no, we don't register handguns.
Oh, okay.
Typically. The registration is when you send your purchase permit to the ATF and it's all registered, so that gun is owned by you. Another thing that you have to worry about is she seems like a great person.
Right.
But she could maybe unknowingly have bought that gun from somebody and stole from somebody. It could be 7 purchases down the line. It could be a stolen weapon. So it's better to purchase it from an FFL dealer, a federally
Cabela's or something like that.
there are probably people that have FFL licenses that are able to transfer weapons. Those are all on Cabela sites and gun sites. You can find local people to do that. But person to person, it gets hairy because you just don't know everything that comes with that gun. So just
So what are you
it's better
supposed
to
to do?
deal.
What are you supposed to do with that gun then? To be legal?
Go to the police department, have it checked. They can run the serial number, if it comes back as good to go, then it's fine.
I know a guy.
Find a FFL dealer, find a company, find Cabela's, whatever, those, the better way to buy it.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And then get proficient with it. Don't just put it under your pillow for the next 10 years and think it's gonna save you when you have to pull it out next time. So, just proficiency is big with those. So, any other questions? Or you got a free cup to talk to?
I apologize for, I had to step out for a minute. Did we talk about forewarned?
Yeah.
We did talk about, okay. And the consensus was it's good to use as just a stepping.
It's a tool. It's not always the most updated,
Right.
but it's great. It shows previous addresses for lenders to kind of look through and everything like that. If you can't get a hold of Misty or someone else, to verify who they may have brought their information from another lender. But you can bring it up real quick, and if the numbers and the names aren't matching, then, red flag.
I
But
always use for I show a rental,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know. 'cause
Use it all
they-
the time.
They call me, to
Right.
view the rental, and then I
Yeah.
have one of you put it in your phone.
Right.
'cause I don't have.
And and maybe knowing the history of somebody, and then checking it against forewarned, it's not always the most up to date, most accurate. But that could be based on cases getting dropped or cleaning out or whatever. There's a whole list of factors, but forewarned can only do so much, but they do a lot. It's a great app. And I'm thankful that the company pays for it, of course. That's great. It's a great app, great resource.
Now, I have a question. Have you ever experienced somebody having completely false information in there? Like, they have all these records, but it wasn't theirs. Like, in real life, they don't have any kind of a record. But in forewarned, they have all this, like,
Oh,
supposed
you mean
warrants and
forewarned being
stuff.
wrong?
Yeah.
Well, see, if
'Cause
you
I-
look at it, it's got suggested matches that could be similar names. Obviously, we get that all the time when we do our records check is aliases, similar names, and be a different birthday or different, race, gender, whatever. So it's not 100% accurate no matter what, even with our stuff, but forewarned is a great resource to start with.
I
Yeah.
usually only have a cell phone number,
Yeah.
and a name, and a lot of times the cell phone number, the name don't match at all.
Yeah, a lot of times they don't. So
So
you
then
have
I
to
just
use it
know
both ways.
that has-
I was just curious, because I know somebody whose information was completely, like, it was not her at all.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And it's got to pull from the best database it can, and it gets a lot of good information though, otherwise. I like it. Well, I appreciate you all coming and listening to me laugh for a little bit.
Thank you.
Hopefully you guys take a little bit away from it.